What up, geeks and geekettes? It's another episode of the Countdown to the Geekcast. My name is Steady. With me on this episode is the man behind the magic, the one and only Joe Garcia. What's going on, Joe?
No, hey man, what's going on? Hey dude, I'm just nervous about tomorrow because I got to go visit the dentist. I hate going to the damn
Ooh,
dentist, dude. I'd rather do
ooh,
anything else but go to the dentist.
ooh. What about getting your prostate checked?
I'd rather do that than go to the dentist, dude. I swear to you, man. I hate the
I
dentist with the passion. Like
I
I'm
don't
ready to
know,
punch the
man.
dentist every time I go in the office, dude. Like one
I don't
time I
know.
tore the arm off of the dentist chair because I didn't even know I did it, and the dentist is like, "Dude, you broke my chair."
Damn, I bet that's gonna cost you a little bit.
No, they put it back together. I mean, it just a screw came off or something. I don't know.
All right, well, you got lucky then. You got lucky then. We got a great show for everybody. Today, we are continuing our TV show discussions of Halo, of Young Justice Phantoms. That's season 4 for you guys keeping tabs. And we're also going to be talking about the Moon Knight finale. So, lots of episodes to talk about. We took a break. Joe says Joe's in the chat. He says that's weird. I think he said your answer to getting your prostate rather than going to the dentist is weird. I agree, Joe. That's a weird thing to say.
I hate the dentist, dude. I hate the fucking dentist, dude. I
I
would
believe
do
you.
anything not to go.
I believe you. I believe you. So we're continuing our TV series discussions, and once we get Jericho or JC back on the show, we're then gonna go talk about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So another day or two before we get to talk about that.
I don't even know if JC's seen it yet. So
He hasn't, but he's told me soon. He's gonna see it soon, and then we're all gonna talk about it together, and we're all gonna have a good time doing that. All right, where were
no,
we?
I
All
don't know.
right,
We're gonna all have a good time talking about that movie.
most of us, most of us will have a good time talking about it. All right,
Don't save
here
your
we go.
money, Joseph, man. Just wait for it to come out on Disney Plus, bro.
I'm gonna share this to our couple of groups here. All right, cool. I hope you guys have been following us regarding our TV series discussions. Let us know in the chat what you're watching. Did you watch the Moon Knight finale? Are you watching season 4 of Young Justice? We're going to talk about the ending of Arc 4 today. We're also going to be talking about Halo. Oh my goodness, Halo, man. Freaking A. Joe says I better go see it soon. Damn. We're not going to talk about the movie tonight, though. You're good
No,
tonight, Joe.
we're not talking about Doctor Strange right
Yeah,
now. No.
not tonight. So let's go ahead and get back to the series discussion. First on the agenda, we're going to talk about Young Justice Phantoms
Are you gonna
episodes
refer to
20.
yourself in the third person like Forager, man? Forager is my favorite character, bro.
Yeah. Forger's the bomb, dude. And I know that you never saw season 3. If you go back and see season 3 where like they first introduced him, that's when it was a trip because like nobody expected it, and he was like part of the main cast. The main cast was like all these new cast members, new characters. So Forger was one of them. So every freaking no, listen, you missed the part where Forger had to take a human form on Earth, and
Oh,
so he
damn.
needed a human name. So he went with Fred Bug with 2 G's. So instead of saying Forger all the time, he would say Fred Bug with 2 G's. And so
Oh,
anytime you meet somebody, you'd be like, "Hey, how you doing? My name is Fred Bug with 2 G's." And then he just kept saying Fred Bug with 2 G's, Fred Bug with 2 G's. The entire season, Fred Bug with 2 G's. It was hysterical. We loved it. Jericho loved the hell out of it. We started talking like that for weeks.
well, I didn't know what
Joseph,
it was
no, no,
when I
no.
first saw it. I just said it's a little fucking cockroach, man. That cockroach is badass.
Forger's like a crowd favorite, man. He's freaking amazing. I don't
He's
know
like
if
a
I mean
beetle.
he's like a beetle, but he's also like
Yeah.
an alien life form. So
Well,
yeah,
they're
man,
awfully cute, man. I dug Forager, man. Both of them.
absolutely. All right, I know you can't. You got an appointment early in the morning with your favorite dentist. So Let's go ahead and get on with the summary. And look, there's a lot of lore in these things, right? So I'm gonna try and cover. Uh, I'm gonna go as fast as I can, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So, Young Justice episode 20, Supertown. We open on Rocket trying to smooth things out with Orion, but it's actually Ma'alafalak who obtains info on when they can break into Metron's vault. If you remember, Lord Zod is trying to get the Phantom Zone projector to get his dad, General Zod, out of the Phantom Zone. All right, that's where we're at. Let's see. With this info, they can plan a tracer onto the rupture cell that went critical days ago and create a new timeline where it is given to Metron instead. With a lock on the cell, they enter the vault using Darkseid's tech and avoid the energy eating red cloud that protects the vault. That guy was pretty dope, by the way. Fast forward to when Razor knocks Metron back into the Mobius Zone vault. Lord Zod tortures Metron in order to find the Phantom Zone projector. Metron agrees to hand over the device, but betrays Lord Zod with a rock of kryptonite and flees to warn New Genesis. Mantis to the rescue, who travels a day back in time with the general location of the projector and was able to retrieve it. Beast Boy, by the way, meets with Black Canary in therapy sessions and gives the appearance that he's progressing. I'm a little skeptical, but we'll go with it. And then the Phantom Zone. General Zod brings Superboy to the rest of his group. He definitely knows Connor is Superboy. He calls him that. And he guides him and teaches him of their ways. Desperate and without any idea of how to move forward, Connor, aka Superboy, kneels before Zod. Please tell me you enjoyed this episode. I know you say like there's not a lot of action going on, but this episode, it was like the bad guys being attacked by the Red Cloud in Metron's vault. They did this whole like Back to the Future time travel sequence where they're trying to get this technology in order to release General Zod. Like this is working for you, right? You're enjoying this stuff. This is good
Yeah.
stuff.
No, I enjoyed this more than Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, bro. By
All
far,
right, all right, all right.
by far. They did it. They did it the right way.
Mm.
No, I'm just
What
saying,
else?
man. I enjoyed it. I
What else?
enjoyed
What
it.
else do you like with this one?
Oh, just I like the fact that it got Game of it really got Game of Thrones in here. Like everybody has their own agenda. Everybody's over here trying to backstab each other and do what they got to do to meet their objective. And
Yeah,
that's kind of what I liked. And it's like you have a time machine. It's like you can do whatever the hell you want. And it's finally with Mantis like, oh, you know what? F this, dude. I'm just gonna go back one day in the past and go and get the damn thing myself. Fuck this.
dude. I mean, like, even though he's part of the bad guys, he's part of the antagonist here. I was like, hey, credit to Mantis, bro. I didn't think of that. Yeah, he's like the brawn of the operation. He's not the brains,
Yeah.
but he's the one, making things happen.
No, he came through in
Kudos,
the clutch. He came through in the clutch.
absolutely. Kudos to the writing team. Like, not only has like every arc been like interesting and well thought out and well planned out, but here we go. Like we watched the first episode of this arc and we're like, where's this going? What is gonna happen? And like now every episode means more than we thought it did because now they're just reliving this loop and it's brilliant. It's just so well thought out. It's exactly the quality writing that we've always expected from Young Justice, and like it's they're just killing it again. And you love all these new characters. And we talked about Rocket starting out beginning of this arc and her family and sort of like the challenges she faces. Like they're still showing us the backstory and the real life situations that these characters are going through. But then when it gets to New Genesis and we start dealing with time travel and new gods, like I love this stuff. I love the stuff. I'm eating it all up. It's funny. It's entertaining. I just love all of it. You know, these first couple of episodes of this arc, again, I was like, where is this going? I feel like none of this is going to be important later. And look, everything was important. The rupture cell that went critical, like all of that means stuff now. It's like it's all part of the plan, as
Yeah.
Ledger Joker would say. I just love it. It's just so amazing how well this series is written. I love it. It's beautiful.
I want to see Forager get it. Like they need to get their own spinoff, bro. Like I'm digging them.
Yes. Let's get Young Justice spin-off shows. Shouldn't we? We really should. Yeah, you need to go back and watch Fredbug with two G's. He's
I'm
pretty
telling you, man.
awesome.
Forager's my boy.
His human form is like a little husky, like Mexican kid. I mean, he's probably not Mexican, but I'm just saying he's like a husky little
Chewy.
earthling.
He's like a
There
little
you go.
Chewy.
He's a little chewy. Is exactly what he is.
And for people that know what that means, everybody who's a Mexican or Latino, you have a cousin that's chunky, and his nickname is always Chewy, not Chewy as
Or
in a Wookie.
you I was about to say, or you live in a galaxy far, far away, and you also got a
Yeah.
friend named Chewie. All right, Young Justice, episode 21, Odyssey of Death, the ending of Arc 4. Here we go. We open on August 27th in Louisiana, where Zatanna asks Madame Xanadu to locate the soul of Connor, but has no luck in doing so, and we know exactly why. Go back to New Genesis. Rocket and team follow Metron to Boiling Lake, where Lorzod attempts to recharge the Phantom Projector after Mantis got in the last episode. It's got no juice. Then you go to this lake and siphon the energy and turn it back on. A battle ensues. Tomar Ray is lost when he successfully diverts the energy from a Promethean, of all things, and his ring is transferred to Forger, female Forger. I mean, they're all called Forger, right? But it's female Forger, not our friend
The blue
Forger.
one. It was the blue one.
The blue one, bluish purplish one, yeah.
Yeah.
Lord Zod is briefly able to open a retrieval to the Phantom Zone, but not before the Legion destroy the Phantom Projector. For a brief second, Phantom Girl. What? Oh, for a brief second, Saturn Girl is able to sense Phantom Girl, but Lord Zod takes the bioship hostage and uses it to flee. Back on Earth, Zatanna believes Connor is not dead and will seek the help from most likely her ex lover, Nightwing, aka Dick Grayson, who's going to be the focus, or at least the character lead of the final arc of this season, Arc 5. Joe, your thoughts on the ending of Arc 4, man? How it all sort of played out? What are your thoughts about that?
Thought it was cool. I mean, after I saw episode 19, I stuck around and watched episode 20. I believe both episodes were what runtime, maybe 23, 25 minutes, something like that. Um, and they did a lot with the time given, like you see the Phantom Zone, which I thought was pretty cool,
Yeah,
General Zod and all them. And then you see them trying to get out of the Phantom Zone. And I like Forager's reaction. There's a hole in the sky, you know. I'm like, man, Forager just really has a way with words, man.
yep.
And the other thing I like too was like you see Rocket, and Rocket actually sees Orion for more than just uh I guess everybody's always afraid of Orion because
He's a hothead. Yeah,
he's a hothead, and for all intents and purposes he's under this, impression that he's always he's like a reign of evil, because of his father, Dark Side.
right.
And they don't see him as a person, like he's his own individual person, his own personality. Like he's not like his dad, and I think it was cool how Rocket like really saw who he is, as a person, more even so that at the end, when Rocket's leaving, and he's like he grabs her arm and he's like, thank you for seeing me, and I think that kind of like really touched her because she remembers, like her son, like and that's the thing too. Like they show that little throwback there. When she finally goes back to Earth and whatnot, and with
Yeah,
she's with her family and she sees her son and she's like, "Oh, I see you," and she's smiling, because she's a mom and she's like, you're more than just what people perceive on the outside, which had a deeper meaning. You
absolutely.
know?
Yes.
So I was like, that was pretty dope. Like he appreciated that more than anything. Like finally somebody actually saw me for who I really am. You know.
It's
So to me,
beautiful.
yeah, it was dope. I really appreciated that. I liked it, and I don't know the name of the Green Lantern that bit the dust. What was his
Tomar Ray.
Tomar Ray? Poor Tomar Ray, man. He's trying to do his best to stop this other world from meeting its end, and just does the ultimate sacrifice because he's like, not today. And he can't use his shield and kind of project this energy out into the upper atmosphere, out of the harm's way of this planet that they're on. And unfortunately he just has to use all the energy, and he just puts down the shield, makes the shield go away and takes it right in the chest, and he
In
finally
the back.
fulfills well, it goes through his back, through his chest. You see
Yeah.
the 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 energy beams go through his back and right out through his chest, and he fulfills his purpose. And I thought it was a pretty cool nod because I didn't expect that. And then you see the girl forager, and you see the ring right go on her finger, and it's like, say the oath, and she's over here saying it. I was like, that's pretty dope. That's like they got
That
a little
is dope.
forager. Little Forger is gonna be Green Lantern now. And then that was touching too, like, they both care about each other so much, and that's cute because they both talk like in that third person, and that's what I thought was kind of funny. I like the way that they speak, and the way that Forager gives the other Forager the William Shakespeare book, and she's all, oh, I was like, oh, look at them, they're happy. you know I was like, they need to have their own spin-offs, man. He goes, it's a long distance relationship, but we can make it work.
Do a spin-off, do a comic book tie-in. Chris Jones, I'm looking at you, brother. Drop a little hint towards your boys over there, Brandon Vietti and Greg Weisman. Maybe they can do a Forger comic book tie-in, if you will. Even a digital one. Just do a digital comic book tie-in. Y'all can knock it out in a week or two. It'll be awesome. Yeah, no, they're incredible characters. I loved when Forger said the oath. I'm like, what? It puts good feelings in your heart, man. It's cool. We've been watching these cats for this season and Forger last season. It's a really cool thing to see. I don't think we've seen anybody else say the oath on this series. I could be wrong about that. I know that there's four Green Lanterns on Earth. One of them we don't know who it is. They're keeping that secret for some reason. But yeah, very exciting moment. I'm also focusing on Zod a little bit. So this Phantom Projector is finito, dunzo, destroyed, right? But on Bioship, Kid Flash put the cosmic treadmill on it. So is Bioship a time machine now? Can they use it and just go back like a day and get that projector again? I think Zod has to get out. Like I feel like, there's too much drama for him never to get out of the Phantom Zone. Plus we need a way for Connor to get out. Now, I keep saying it every week. We know that a Lord of Order can enter and exit the Phantom Zone because we know that a Lord of Chaos has already done that, has entered and exited the Phantom Zone. So, unless Zatanna can figure this out as Fate, she has no idea that he's in the Phantom Zone, though. Like, they would not know that information at all. So either the Legion could pass that along somehow on the bioship to the rest of the team that Connor's in the Phantom Zone. Maybe Kid Flash does it, not really sure. Or, Lord uses the bioship with the cosmic treadmill on it and is able to time travel and get back to a day or a moment when the projector is still intact and uses it to get his father. and family out. So lots of options, right? Either Lord time travels, gets the machine, gets his dad out, or somehow Kid Flash gets back to Zatanna that Connor's alive and he's in the Phantom Zone, and maybe she can figure out from fate that he can enter it and get out of it whenever he pleases. Those are my two options. If something else happens, so be it. But that's just what I'm kind of landing on right now. Your thoughts on that?
Mm, I don't know, man. It's
Come
you
on,
just
those are
never
the only
you just
options,
never
right?
yeah, you just never know though because of the way that the stories are always written, like they make you believe
I
like it's
know,
gonna happen
I
one way
know.
and then at the last second it's like whoop. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it's just a ploy, to kind of pull the rug out from under you again.
No, but now that look, you've been watching this show since the beginning of season 4, right? And you've already seen how like episodes, events keep coming back full circle and like they have deeper meanings later on. So
Yeah.
nothing on this show is done for no reason. There's always a reason for doing something. So when Clarion took over the bus and did that whole magic school bus journey and he passed through the Phantom Zone, that was on purpose. That was to show us that a Lord of Chaos could enter the Phantom Zone, which means a Lord of Order can also enter the Phantom Zone. We just need to get the information to Fate, who should not know that Connor's in there, that where he's at, and then they can do that. I feel like that was intentional. Nothing happens for no reason. There are no coincidences on Young Justice. That's all I'm going to say about that. The
There are no
last thing I wanted to
coincidences, but
mention.
one of the things that I was gonna say is that there are consequences, so every
Absolutely,
time you do something, there's a
absolutely.
consequence. So that's what, kind of makes me think it's like, what if they're able to go into that phantom zone some way, somehow? I mean, are they all whoever goes in, are they gonna be coming back? I mean, that's gonna be the fate. It's like in order to go in and come back out, you have to have some type of a consequence. So is like somebody gonna
I
bite it
know,
in the end, you know?
I know. I agree with you. I don't think you gain something without losing something, and so
Yeah.
I am extremely worried that the last arc of the season involves Nightwing. Don't
Yeah.
mess with my Nightwing, bro. Leave him alone.
I've seen some of the
Um,
the talk on social media about that as well, and everybody's afraid just like you are.
yeah, it's I'm very worried. I mean, look, nobody's safe. They just killed the Green
Yeah.
Lantern. They made us think that Superboy's been dead for 10 episodes. So like nobody's safe. Anything could happen. The last thing I was gonna say is I'm leaning towards Zod not knowing that Superboy is sort of his enemy, but I feel like that should be knowledge to him because he knows the Legion sent him to the Phantom Zone and he knows that Superboy is the inspiration for the Legion. And but he's not given any hints that like this is his enemy. Like he should not be helping him is what I'm trying to get at. Even if
Yeah.
you're trying to turn him to obey you, like if he gets out, it's not gonna work. But I don't know. Maybe it just feels like he doesn't know who he is. It feels
Well,
like he
what did
doesn't
you
know.
say? Everything happens for a reason, right?
You're right. You're right.
It's real Game
You're
of
right.
Thrones in this bitch, so what I'm thinking is gonna happen is maybe he's just playing along because he needs him for another purpose, and
You're
once
right.
he served that purpose, hey, I already knew who you were all along, I was just playing dumb and keeping you around because I needed to use you, to
That could
get
be
out
it.
some way, somehow.
Yep. Awesome. Cool. This is exciting, and it's also
Oh no, Ted, you froze on me. Ted's in the phantom zone. Ted, you're in the phantom zone, bro.
still on.
Yeah,
Are we
now
still on? I think we're still
you're
on.
back now. You were in the phantom zone.
I thought you were in the Phantom Zone.
Oh, you were. I had to pull you out.
You know what? Actually, your camera's still frozen. disable your camera and turn it back on again. Maybe that'll.
Let me turn it off. Hold on.
Or you might need to bounce and come back in.
Yeah.
Just do that real quick. And then while you're doing that, I'm going to mention that we want to hear from you guys. If you're watching Young Justice Season 4, aka Young Justice Phantoms, let us know what you think about the ending of Arc 4. And also let us know your damn theories on what's going to happen during the Nightwing arc. We want to hear it. What are your theories? Let us know. I will say that the Arc 5 poster for Nightwing, it's pretty straightforward. You got lore on it, you got General Zod, you got Nightwing, um, you got the time sphere in it. So like it just feels like the story is gonna keep continuing, which some people are a little disappointed about. I'm not gonna lie. I am one of those people who's just gonna wait and see. I'm not, they're showing us something, but the show can do whatever they want. I think a lot of people wanted to see a more personal story with Nightwing, maybe one involving Jason Todd, who they thought was dead, and he's actually alive, hanging out with Ra's al Ghul. Um, so maybe we get a tease at the end of the season for that. Don't know. Let's just wait and see before we make any judgments. We love this show. We love the series. This season has been incredible. It's been an incredible season, and let's just see where it goes from here. All right. What do you want to talk about next, man? Moon Knight or Halo?
Now let's talk about Moon Knight, man. Halo was kind of ho hum, you know.
Jesus, I am right there with you, bro.
I'm like, Jesus, can we get done with this season already, man? I'm
Holy
tired.
crap. Oh man, it's so bad. All right, here we go. Moon Knight finale: Gods and Monsters. I'm gonna do this real quick. Harrow unleashes Amit. Layla releases Khonshu. Taweret finds an avatar. Mark can't let Steven go. The Moon Knight returns. We have a full-on kaiju battle. Harrow is defeated. Amit is captured, and Jake Lockley sends his regards. Rest in peace, Harrow. You thought you were gonna make it out, buddy, but you didn't. So, yeah, let's talk Moon Knight. Your thoughts on not just the finale, but like, has this season, even though it was kind of short, right? Did it kind of meet your expectations, surpass your expectations? What are your thoughts?
No, I kind of met the expectations. I told you, as being one who's already read most of this stuff way back when, you know, I had the comic books of Moon Knight, and like I told you, I was a big fan of the crossover events that occurred with Ghost Rider, Spider Man, Moon Knight, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Even before that, I was kind of hinting at you guys without trying to ruin anything that this is going to be a pretty unique series, you know. And you saw why. You know, the different personalities of Mark Spector and Steven, and you know, you have Lockley as well, which to me, I wanted to see a little bit more of him, but I think
yep.
they always hinted at him, you know, and I think
Oh yeah, for sure.
the parts where you saw Mark or even Steven, you know, kind of black out and then come to, and they're like, "Oh my God, what happened?" You know, and there are all these dead bodies around them. They're all covered in blood. Well, that was
That was
Mr.
Jake.
Lockley. Yeah, that was Jake Lockley there, you know. And I thought it was a cool nod, you know, at the very end. I don't know if everybody saw it, stuck around for the post credit, but that was a really interesting way to end the series. You know, with Mr. Lockley finally getting the screen time he deserved, you know, as a taxi driver. And that's another thing too, you know, when they were driving around in that little ice cream truck, the little van, you know, and then again, you know, they blacked out, come through, and they're turned around going down the side of a mountain, you know, a mountain path, you know, a little narrow path there, you know, and he's like, how the heck did I even get here? Well, Mr. Lockley was a taxi driver.
Now we
So
know. Now we know.
it's pretty cool how they pull on not only the multiple personalities, but the multiple personalities as having their own unique, like being their own unique individuals, you know, having an essence, if you will. You know,
Yeah.
they're part of the same whole, but each one of the personalities has its own unique set of skills, you know? And that was pretty interesting that you didn't even need to rely on the gods themselves so much. You just needed to go ahead and, kind of center the story around these multiple personalities and getting to know them and getting to know Mark, getting to know Steven and kind of going down that rabbit hole. And I think they did a really good job in doing that because there were a couple episodes there where you didn't even see, uh, you know, what's his name? No Shoe, or how do they say it?
Conchu.
Khonshu. Yeah, I say No Shoe, Khonshu. They didn't even show Khonshu, and the thing is that you really didn't miss him all too much because you were so fascinated with what was going on with Mark, with Steven, at the time. It was a trip, dude, even to see the hippo, and, the travel to the underworld, and the field of reeds and coming back. And I mean, everything that you could have thought you wanted in a thriller, kind of psychological thriller. I think Moon Knight delivered on that part, and I think because of its originality, it really struck a chord with the fans, and they're like, "We want to see more of Moon Knight." And I'm like, "I was telling you guys, y'all sleeping on Moon Knight.
That's
He's going to
right.
be one of these guys that came in and really made a splash, and here you go. I think we're going to see more of him, possibly in the MCU in the future.
Absolutely. I think that number one, this season has been pretty incredible. I said from the beginning, I'm all in whenever Oscar Isaac is around. The dude is he has so much charisma. I'd watch him in any project he's ever done. I think he elevates any script, any story, any movie or series that he's been in, and he's one of the main reasons why it works. And so this is no different. He put on an incredible performance. If he was just playing one character, it would have been incredible. He played two, and
Well, three.
most of the time though, right?
Yeah.
We got to see him play 2 most of the time, and it's even more impressive because as an actor, he's only doing the scenes and saying the lines to himself, like, and not physically himself. He's just metaphorically himself. So he's standing either next to a stand-in or he's standing next to nobody, delivering this lines to just air, blank space, and that's extremely impressive. And then to edit all this stuff and just to make it seamless, like there's two Oscar Isaacs in the room or in the shot. Great job by the editing team and everything. It's been a very short season. I wish it was a little longer, but I enjoyed it. I know that some of the criticisms were like, "Hey, let's see more Moon Knight," but I think it was a solid story. Like it was a big arc for the character Mark Spector, Steven, or just the hero Moon Knight. I think it was a really big arc, and it was a not complete, it was a fulfilling arc. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, the one
Um,
thing though I think that brings to the discussion is I think everybody was finally introduced to real gods in the MCU. You've
Not the
seen,
Thor and all that.
well, they are gods in their own right, but like a full-on god, like you're seeing very powerful beings because they've been introduced to like the Celestials, and the Celestials are powerful beings in their own right, but they're not full-on gods. And this is kind of an introduction to what a god really is, and the power that they have. I mean, yes, they're governed still by their own entities. There's several. There was a panel or a council of Egyptian gods that abided by a certain code. You can't just go out there and do whatever you want because they're still um, being policed as far as what they can do with the human race. They still
Right.
need humans to believe in them to have some power. That's the power of a god. If you don't have people believing in you, you go into hiding, kind of like we see with the hippo god, being banished, not banished, but her job now is to just, take the spirits to the beyond, on the boat and through the desert and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's a different aesthetic, when you think about it. So you're kind of glimpsing behind the curtain a little bit, and I like it. It's something different that some of the fans aren't used to seeing. So this is their first taste of it. There's more, if they want to go down that rabbit hole, but I think showing, the fans something that was a little bit different was really what uh, a Marvel series needed to be, and that was, where Moon Knight excelled by being different.
Very
Yeah.
different, and very character driven, more so than what we're usually familiar with. We're usually seeing a lot of action sequences and thrilling scenes and moments and destruction and explosions and whatnot. But this was very character driven, and Oscar Isaac, I'd put him up against anybody else in Hollywood right now. I just think he's such a damn good actor, and he's funny. He's got comedic timing down. Um, he's got drama. He can do emotion. He's asked to do so much on this series, and it just works. It works really, really well. Loved, like you said, sort of the lore they expanded on with the Egyptian gods. We've seen, Nordic gods. Now we've seen Egyptian ones, and then when we get to Thor: Love and Thunder, I think we're going to get into more Greek gods, right?
Yeah,
Um,
you're gonna start seeing Zeus, Mount
Zeus,
Olympus, that kind of stuff.
and we'll probably see more, yeah, after that. But this one, it honestly, I just wish it was a little longer. And Jake Lockley, I knew of Jake from the comics, but I kind of felt like Marvel Studios is going to give us a twist and maybe tell us that Khonshu was like overstepping his bounds or his control, and he was the one that was sort of stepping in and taking over for Mark and Steven at times. I was surprised that Mark went back and got Steven. It's a very emotional moment when we lost Steven. Also emotional when he went back for him, and we loved
Yeah.
it. My son cheered for it when that happened. So
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
But the thing is that Conchu always wanted Mark for that reason, because Conchu could always see the various personalities, and the one that was most appealing to him was, of course, Jake Lockley. You know?
Well, it makes you wonder when Jake was sort of forged. It also makes you wonder if that's what was appealing for Khonshu. You find someone with multiple personalities, then you can manipulate them a little bit because they would be susceptible to it and be unaware of the manipulation
No.
because they're so used to not knowing what's going on in the first place sometimes. And so it makes perfect sense for Khonshu to sort of find Mark appealing. um and yeah, I actually thought that we would see Khonshu a little bit involved with the death of Mark's older brother. I thought, or younger brother, sorry. I thought we were going to see something like that happen, but I guess not, or maybe they're saving that for another season. We'll see about that. But yeah, that would have been either very dark or pretty interesting if they would have shown like Khonshu had kind of something to do with it, a little bit more of influence on that because we saw the bird bones on the ground. Or was the cave even real? That's a very popular fan theory, is that Mark's vision of the past isn't actually real. And in the comics, Mark's brother that we think is dead or that we saw die, we didn't see a body. We didn't see a body. Mark's brother in the comics is also a villain. I forget the name, but Mark's brother turns into a villain. And so maybe that's something that they're saving. Maybe the vision that we saw in the cave was just fabrication, just a made up vision, so that Mark could go down this path where Khonshu can find him and use him as his avatar. That's also very possible. We'll find
Yeah.
out. We'll see.
Yeah. One thing we haven't talked about is Layla, and seeing her become the avatar
Layla.
of Tawit.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool. The hippo. Everybody's wondering who that is. It's the hippo. And her costume was pretty dope. Like, she's a badass too, man. Like, she came out and she
totally.
was able to, really dispatch a lot of these guys that were trying to kill, Moon Knight. So I mean, she would even the little girl asked her. She goes, "Are you an Egyptian superhero?" And she's like, "Yes, I am."
I am. In yeah,
That was
absolutely.
that was awesome to see. It's like a strong female character, coming into her own, and basically she's the one that decided this is what she wanted to do. She wasn't forced to do this, and I thought that was important as well, her making her own decision, So I like the way that Marvel kind of portrayed that whole thing.
Absolutely. And kudos also goes out to Ethan Hawke, who was a very formidable villain. Really liked him as a villain. He doesn't get to play the bad guy too many times in movies.
Yeah, and good on them for always having that glass. Every time he walked, you could hear the crunch.
Oh
Shh,
my god, yeah.
shh, shh. Very subtle, but you could always hear it. Even in this episode when he was walking, you could hear it.
There was a couple of fan theories that he was Victor Von Doom, secretly, and I'm like, interesting, but I didn't see enough evidence to believe it.
Yeah.
And so now that it's over, it's like, yeah, I don't think he was.
No, it
No,
wasn't.
not at all.
But one of the interesting parts is that with Moon Knight, the Moon Knight lore, one of the favorite villains or characters that he goes up against is Werewolf by Night, and it's rumored that they're gonna have like I guess a series or something that's gonna be coming to light here, and it's gonna be Werewolf by Night. So we'll see. There's always rumors and things that come out, and sometimes Disney will kind of spin this, but then projects might get pushed to the side, or they might be you know made into something else. Who knows? But this is just a one-off series, much like WandaVision. So 6 episodes was short, sweet, and everybody's gonna want a season two. But are the fans gonna wind up getting that? I don't think so. I think they might get some spin-offs, and we might see Moon Knight in some of those spin-offs, make a cameo, but I don't know if they're gonna bring back a season two. I think this is one and done.
We'll
We'll
find out.
see.
I wouldn't put it past them, or maybe they find a way to kind of merge this character on another um, platform or another some other content. I think that's definitely a possibility, but we'll see. All in all, I think it was wildly entertaining, mostly because of Oscar Isaac, who's an absolute boss when it comes to acting. He was the better part of the sequel trilogy, probably the best part of the sequel trilogy, if you ask me. And now he's in the MCU. Didn't do so great as Apocalypse in the X Men universe, but I don't put that on him. I think it
We
was
don't need
just
to even bring that up,
yeah.
Ted.
We don't need to bring that up. We need to bring that up. Yeah. All right, and we want to hear from you guys. What did you think about the Moon Knight finale? Let us know in the comments below, or you can always message us on the Facebook page by clicking that send message button, or you can email us on the contact page of our website at www.countdowntothegeekcast.com. Okay, let's try and talk about the Halo series. We're discussing episodes 6 and 7. This is gonna be the end of our last our last topic of the night, and we'll start off with episode 6. It's titled Solace, and summary goes like this: Master Chief is testing the control of Cortana by threatening Halsey. Pretty dope. I actually like that part. That's how we open that episode. He then interrogates Maki, but is skeptical of her intentions, as he should. As he should. Halsey confesses her sins. Is it Maki? Yeah, Maki tries to manipulate John 117, aka Master Chief, and the Keystone sends John and Maki into a shared vision on Halo. You must have loved that, right? That final scene, finally seeing the damn ring that we've been waiting for this whole time. I'm just kidding. We knew it'd come eventually, but pretty dope seeing it in the sort of live action form in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did it justice. Everybody's been waiting for the buildup of the ring itself. So we got a first glimpse of it, and that's what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for that
Oh.
music. That infamous Halo music. I thought they were gonna play it like in the intro or something. But no, they never did.
I thought it's a little there.
Not too much. You know, you really want to hear it. You know, and I think what they were waiting for is for that build up. You know, hey, we're gonna give you the music that y'all want when it means something. You know.
What I
So
want to hear is the sort of the fighting music from the original. That da, da, da,
yeah,
dun, da, 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 dun. Maybe they'll save that for like the finale. Da, 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 dun, da, 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 dun, da, 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 dun, da, 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 dun. It was
hopefully,
fantastic
man.
when Mike Enzinger from Incubus did the music for, I think it was Halo 3, and he like threw some electric guitar in there and all that. One of the best video game soundtracks ever that Mike produced from Incubus. Yeah, episode 6 and 7. Good on Chief for confronting Halsey. We now know that she's a total B, and I wouldn't trust her for anything. Cortana does feel like she's more of a neutral figure. She's not completely under Halsey's control. Like, she wants to help Master Chief in some regards. So she's not a complete useless app or whatever
Yeah,
AI.
she's starting to
She
form her own personality. Is what's going on.
absolutely, yeah, she's making her own decisions, and I think that's very cool. She's actually going to be more of the sidekick to John than what we've sort of been led to believe early on. And yeah, this vision on Halo, like I mentioned, pretty effing cool. Cool seeing it in live action form. Let's get there already. That's what I'm ready for. Let's just stop wasting
Yeah.
time. Let's get there. Let's move on.
There's no need to bring Quan back no more, man. But they just can't. They just can't, dude. They just got to bring her back for the next episode, and that's where wheels come off, man. It was pretty rough getting through this last episode, dude. I'm gonna tell you.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. There's no debate about that. And I'll quickly go into that one too. Halo episode 7 titled Inheritance. I got 3 talking points. 3. That's all I care to mention about this. Talking point number 1, Quan finds a coven. Talking point number 2, Soren gets disrespected. Uh, talking point number 3, we don't see Master Chief or any kind of Halo.
No, you get on some weird trip, dude. Is what you
Oh
get.
my god.
Some weird. They're leaving like peyote or something out in the desert, bro.
I mean, I'm leaving out like the big part, right? So, Visher, he tracks Quan to the old base on Madrigal, and her and Soren are there, and so this big fight happens, and
Oh,
they end
Soren's
up.
not there initially.
No, he's
Quan's
not
there
there
by
initially,
herself.
but
You know.
he
Yeah.
he catches up with her, yeah.
Yeah.
And so this big fight happens, and they're able to defeat Vincer and his goons. And Soren, he's in bad shape.
He got shot in the neck, bro.
That's what I'm saying. He's in real bad shape. So we don't know. I can't even remember right now. By the end of the episode, if he's like okay
Oh,
or if he
he's
makes
fine,
it.
dude. There ain't nothing wrong with the dude, man. Like,
I
come on now.
guess. I
Like
mean, he is
they
a
got magical
Spartan,
med
right?
kits or what? Like, I mean, he's human though. Like, you know, he doesn't have that. He has armor, but he doesn't have that shielding that the new Spartan armor has. You
Yeah,
know,
no, they do not. No, he does not.
so
You're
he's
right about that.
susceptible to injury. You know, and he gets his ass handed to him in this episode.
It's still. I'm not gonna say it's terrible. It is peculiar that we have this subplot to begin with. There was nothing else. I listen. I get that maybe there wasn't enough story that they could write for just Master Chief to fill up 7 episodes, right? They think there wasn't enough story. Maybe there's just not enough budget. Maybe like the budget for what we have right now was so freaking much that they couldn't afford to just write about Master Chief. And so sure, that's why you put in the subplot with Quan and Soren and this, resistance or the Civil War that doesn't mean anything. Like, and now we find out that the Civil War or this rebellion is all a lie, and their only purpose is to guard this portal, right? Does this portal lead to Halo? Is that what we're getting at? Like, is that what? the portal was for, if they don't tell us what this portal is for, then yeah, then this subplot is completely useless, and it's just a waste of time, and that has nothing to do with the actors. I like the actors, but, like, this isn't part of the game. We didn't need it. Um, Hopefully, this portal has some meaning or value. If not, it's so bizarre that we're going through all this. I mean, I don't care. I don't care about it. And again, it has nothing to do with the actors, the actress, Quan, has nothing to do with Soren. I like the guy that plays Soren a lot. It's just doesn't mean anything, man. It doesn't. In the grand scheme of things, when you know there's a ancient alien weapon that can destroy planets, like, then this rebellion doesn't mean anything. It's pointless.
There's a bigger threat out there. I think that's what they're kind of alluding to. But
With
for
but not
instance,
with Quan and
no, no, no,
Soren.
not with Quan and
Yeah.
Soul. And that's the thing that kind of is asinine at the same token is that they're trying to force you to care about these characters, and at the end of the day you just don't give a damn about them. You want to see more of that interaction between Cortana, Master Chief, Dr. Halsey, and all the other stuff that's going on as far as the political games that are being played behind the scenes. Everybody kind of backstabbing each other and trying to force their own agenda. I think that is an interesting aspect of the human element of the show. There was no need for the other characters to even be in here.
Maybe you get a lot of times you get studio executives in the mix, and they have no idea what the original source material is like.
You know,
And so maybe it's that kind of situation where you get these studio executives and they're like, "We got to see his face, and he's got to do this, and we need a civil war. We need humans fight against humans." Like, maybe you got people in the writing room that have no idea what Halo was like. They never played it. They never had a kid who played it or anything like that. Maybe that's what happened. I think, if I'm writing the show, and I'm not saying the entire show is bad. There's a lot of stuff that's
yeah,
really good, but maybe you just start out with, like, following Spartans the first couple of episodes, doing regular Spartan stuff, defending planets, going on um recon missions,
killing
like,
humans.
well, killing aliens, bro. Maybe they're doing just recon missions, killing
Well,
aliens on
they
other
were kinda
planets.
laying waste too. They made the mention that they were laying waste to the rebellion because they were at war with the it was kinda like a civil war. I'm just saying.
But that's so odd. It's so weird, right? Like, we're supposed to believe that Spartans are doing everything for the greater good, and killing their own race or killing their own species is a very bad thing. Like, there's no gray area. Like, now you're just telling us that there's a moral ambiguity now. Like, they're just doing things
Yeah, they never
for the
show you
sake
them
of doing things. I
dispatching
don't
the
know.
humans. They only come and show you in episode 1, "Oh, here comes the Master Chief to save the day," and everybody's kind of perplexed as to why is he helping us? They're usually trying to kill us, you know? So, it was just strange, the introduction. I would have rather see the context of them, at war with the humans, with the rebels, and then kind of having this,
No
you
rebels.
know
0 rebels. We should
I'm
have
just saying, like,
rebels.
they shoulda had a flashback at least showing them, "Hey, this is what they were doing then, boom, they're in here helping them now." It doesn't mean, like, you have to have a whole episode geared around it. I'm just saying it would have been the context. This is what they were doing. This is why the rebels feared them, and now you see them drop down out of the sky and to help them, and they're like, "What the hell are you all doing?" And then
Yeah.
Master Chief looks at the guy and gives him a head nod. I'll be like, "No, fuck you, bro."
It's
Didn't he kill one of the Spartans? Wasn't it Master Chief or one of these Spartans killed Quan's mom?
possibly.
Yeah, they made reference to that. It's like the Spartan, I don't know if it was
Yeah, that's what
Master
she
Chief
says.
himself, but it was one of these Spartans that killed Quan's mom.
Yeah, yeah, I know, I
So
know.
I'm just saying it just Quan and that whole thing, this that had to go, man. I mean, like, I they can do without it. And I don't know where they're gonna wind up going. I mean, they go on this side quest, and Quan winds up going into, the desert and meeting this other tribe where her dad had met them and drank some magic juice, and he had a vision, and now she has the vision, and she sees the portal, and she was talking to her dad that's not really her dad but some other being or whatever. I'm like, this is a trip, man. Like, are these guys drinking some ayahuasca? They're partaking of the ayahuasca, man. Like, what are we doing, dude?
It's weird, it's convoluted. I don't know why we have a rebellion or a civil war on planet Earth. Again, if you erase all this stuff and figure out a different way to fill in the time, I think it's better. It's not,
Yeah,
it doesn't mean the show now is bad. I think it's better if we don't have Spartans ever killing humans for no reason. Like, we know that killing humans doesn't do anything because there's a far greater threat in the universe. We know that. We
yeah.
know that because of the games. We know that because of the show. I think if you just had episode 1, we follow an army, we follow like just follow just normal humans for like 10-15 minutes. They're going into battle against the Covenant, like the whole squad's being annihilated, and then boom, out come the Spartans. Never take the mask off, and they're just we see the Spartans doing regular Spartan stuff for like 2 episodes. That's it.
If you
Just we
think
s-
about it, and you really think about it, they could have still had the actor acting and doing all these things, walking around the room. You just never had to show his face. You could have showed the back of his head,
you don't need to.
you know, and that was it. That would have been fine with the audience. That's what they're accustomed to seeing. In the video game lore, you never see his face, and that's part of the thing that everybody loves about this is that the mystery behind it.
Or
And
the last Judge Dredd movie, people are talking about that. Dredd, he never took off his
never
mask.
took off his mask. Yeah.
Mandalorian, he's only taken his mask off like twice out of 2 seasons.
And once one was
Uh,
for Baby Yoda. Say
that's it.
bye-bye, and that was about it.
If Grogu wants to take your mask off, you take your mask off. But there's no
Yeah,
Grogu on this show. So yeah,
yeah.
I
Just
I would have left it on because you want that mystery to be there. You want
yeah,
that mystery
keep it
of,
intact.
is he human? What does he look like? Like all of those things that we went through as gamers, we want to go through that in the audience. And then, even though we know kind of the answer, like it's still something that we want to go through again. And people who haven't played the game, we want them to go through it to the first time. I
Yeah.
think it would have been better.
You just showed him he showed his face right off the bat, in the first episode. I'm just like, "What the hell are we doing, man?" It's like, no. They just I don't know. I think they're trying too hard with this particular series. They wanted to be something very grandiose, and it just kind of is losing steam as we get further and further along in this first season. And like so much so, Ted, that I'm kind of dreading the second season, bro. Like,
If we don't get a flood reference by the end of season 1, I think I'm gonna call season 1.
I'm gonna fail.
I don't know if I'd call it a failure, but I definitely would say it did not meet my expectations.
Well, let's put it like
If
this:
we
Jericho
don't
couldn't even
get a
get through
flood,
2 episodes, dude.
Jericho though, he gets weird sometimes watching stuff. You
He
know
waits to binge watch stuff, and it's like he's not gonna
that
binge watch Halo. I already know that. He's like, I couldn't even get through 1 episode, more or less two. No, I refuse to watch it. I'm like, dude, I'm done with you, Jericho.
you're done with him, and we're done with this. We're done with Halo. Enough of that stuff.
Yeah, man.
We want to hear from you guys. Do you feel differently? Are you loving what they're doing with the series? What are your theories going forward? How does this season 1 end? Let us know in the comments below. Send us a message on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, or you can always email us on the contact page of our website at www.countdownstothegeekcast.com. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, subscribe. If you want to hear the podcast versions of our episodes, download them. Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Yeah, wherever you can find a podcast, we're there.
Yeah.
Um,
I also like
ah,
to apologize to our fans too, because we've kind of been, taking a little hiatus. We've
yeah,
had life happen for a lot of
one
us.
week. Yeah,
Yeah, we've had life
It was
happen,
one
man.
week. If you're in the San Antonio area, you know what? I wanted to talk a little bit about um free comic book day over at Dragon's Lair. Had a great time. Got me a Doctor Strange hat. One of the Disney reps was nice enough to get me one of those, and loved being back in the shop, seeing lines of people grabbing free comics. I got me a bunch. You might love this one, the Winchester Mystery House comic book, The 100 Year Curse. I am a big fan of the Winchester Mystery House. I've never been to it. I might be a little intimidated by going to. Do you know what the Winchester House is?
I never heard of it.
The Winchester House is by the family of the Winchester firearms.
Oh, okay.
So the widow of Mr. Winchester lived
Oh,
in
I
this
lie.
mansion.
I do remember. I saw an episode.
There
I
you
think it
go.
was on the Travel Channel or History Channel, and they were talking about how weird this house is, and it's haunted, and they have stairs that lead to nowhere, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I remember that
stairs
one.
that lead to the ceiling. They have doors that open from the second or third floor to the
Yeah,
outside. This widower went maybe a little crazy, and she just started making changes to the house and additions to the house, and they had to follow her plans exactly, but none of them make any sense.
yeah,
Doors that open that don't go anywhere, they just to a wall, stuff like that. So they say the house is a maze. Like, if you can get lost for quite some time, just because nothing is normal. The rooms don't go to rooms, or doors don't lead to doors, stairs don't lead to anything. So they say you can get lost, and the theory is she built the house in sort of like a maze-like manner so that the souls, or the spirits, couldn't escape. They couldn't find their way out. It was a way to trap them all. So, anyways, it's a big tourist attraction. I don't know if you could stay the night there. I think you can
I wouldn't.
visit. I wouldn't either. It's kind of intimidating. Like I mentioned, I think it's in San Jose. I know it's in California. I think it's in
Yeah,
San Jose.
they have a chandelier too, and I think is a dining area that just swings by itself at random. Like there's nobody there, no air or nothing, and people are touring the house and looking at it, and the damn thing's just swinging back and forth, and everybody's like, "All right."
Yeah, man. So I can't wait to read this one just because I don't know what it's about. But it's a very interesting story. There's been a lot of paranormal investigations at this place. It's one of the most haunted places on the planet, apparently.
Can't imagine
Um,
why.
it's said to be haunted by the souls of all the people that have been killed by Winchester firearms.
Yeah, I heard that there was a curse or something like that. Yeah,
There you go. There you go. All right. Anyways, that was Free Comic Book Day. I also picked up some other comics for myself, some for my daughter. Hopefully, you guys got to participate as well. They usually do another one in the fall.
you picked up the
Halloween.
latest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I sure
'Cause I
did.
heard that one was fire, dude.
I sure did. Look at that.
Yeah,
Boom. Boom.
that's the last one, right?
Good
And the
question.
arc that they were doing right now recently.
I haven't been following. I need to.
Oh,
I need to
well, I
follow it.
gotta talk with you afterwards because you're gonna like that one, dude.
Dope. Can't wait. They usually do another one in the fall,
Yeah,
Halloween something or another. So, yeah, glad to be back at our favorite comic book shop. Shout out to Dragon's Lair over at Alamo Ranch. Great people there. They had a blast. We had a blast. And we got to do another event there pretty soon. I have some ideas, so we'll talk about it. But yeah, we will talk about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness later on this week, hopefully. And then next week, we're going to continue talking about Young Justice. We're going to continue talking about Halo, hopefully, not much longer.
yeah,
And Superman and Lois is back. Those episodes have been fire. So we actually will start talking about Superman and Lois again through the rest of the season. Awesome. For the Geekcast, my name is Steady. With me on this episode is the man behind the magic. You know him as Joe Garcia.
yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody, and putting up with us. We appreciate y'all's support, and make sure you do go ahead and spread the word about the Countdown City Geekcast. We do the show, and it's only made possible because of the support of you guys. So we love you guys. Make sure you get the word out.
Absolutely. Lastly, the Special Olympics are going down this weekend in San Antonio, Texas. It's a major event. It's a few days long, and I will be shaking hands and taking photos with as many kids as I can, along with the San Antonio chapter of the Ghostbusters. And if you want to participate in any way, please go and just cheer on the little ones out there competing. It's for a great cause. They want to hear the cheers and the roars and the yells and the clapping from anybody who's willing to go. So check that out. For more information, go to www.sotx.org. That stands for Special Olympics of Texas. Sotx.org. The event is this weekend. If you want to volunteer, there's a link there to volunteer. I don't know if there's still time to do that, but if you want it for more information and where it's going to be held, it's over in the northeast side of town by Morgan's Wonderland. But there's a few facilities they're going to be utilizing, so can't wait to do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you next week, guys. Have a great night. Thank you for watching again.